Hello, hello, hello world. Wishing you all a very very happy 2025. I hope आप सबका न्यू ईयर ऑलरेडी बहुत बढ़िया शुरू हुआ होगा. And after almost 2-3ish years of itishruti, your podcast, मुझे नए गेस्ट और अच्छे गेस्ट और एक्सपर्ट को ढूंढने में कितनी दिक्कतें आई हैं वो मैं ही जानती हूँ. बट हियर आई एम बैक विथ अ बैंग इन द न्यू ईयर विथ some new amazing guests. And my first guest this year is Nalin, who is Director of Solutions Engineering at Dynatrace. So thank you so much, Nalin, ki you are the first one this year for me.
Nice. Really happy to be the first one, Shruti. Thank you for inviting me.
I mean, आपका एक्सपीरियंस इतना क्लासी था देख के. एज अ सॉल्यूशंस इंजीनियर माई सेल्फ, और रादर एज अ इंजीनियर माई सेल्फ, बहुत टाइम से मैं सोच रही थी आपको इस पॉडकास्ट पे लाने का. बट आई थिंक द टाइमिंग जस्ट स्ट्रक राइट दिस टाइम कि चलो अब बुलाया
Okay.
जाए, बात की जाए. So I am sorry for the delay on my side, but again, thank you so much for being so gracious and saying that yes to me.
Yeah, my pleasure. It is.
So I have created three questions. Just think of them as, like starter points to our conversation. I may have follow up, or you may want to add something to it. And my first question for you is, since you have been in this domain or this business unit of solutions engineering for so long, and before that you were also in other engineering roles, you have seen the transition, you have seen, the transformation of the business unit as such of solutions engineering. So first and foremost, I want to understand, how do you think has solutions engineering as a business unit, as a career, as a profession progressed over the past decade?
Yes. I agree. There has been transformative changes in from the time this has been there. Earlier, as I remember, I've done this. This used to be called as pre-sales. Now, moment you say sales, right? People uh, like you because you're pre-sales people. Then you have to tell that you're technical, and then that is where people connect with you. But moment you define it as solutions engineering, it completely changes the perspective in the other person's mind because now it's about solutioning and it's about solutioning for that person's problem.
Right.
And if you see over a period of time, the way things used to happen earlier is it was good enough if you just tell the situation or a problem or capability of a particular product and people would happily be able to understand it, how it exactly functions, works, etc. But nowadays, it's no more like that. Nowadays, they really want to understand what is the value of having a solution, how it is going to change their day to day life. Why should I pay this money for this solution or this? And that is the level you need to have the clarity to first explain people and then come into a point where you say, yes, whatever I'm telling you, explaining you, makes sense to the person.
Right.
And so this is a big change in the way people think nowadays. And same goes for us because today you cannot just go sit in front of someone and just start talking anything. You have to talk sense, and when you're talking sense, you have to study a lot.
Right.
So all of us must have seen this image. It's very famous. It's an iceberg image. You show a tip of the iceberg, and there's a big thing, right?
Yeah.
So if you are going to have a conversation for 15 minutes, you need to study for that below part, right? So that is the level of preparation one requires to be able to, communicate with people and just have that quick 15 minutes to the point, precise discussion that the person in front of you understands what you're coming and why you're coming.
Oh, so true. I mean, there's so much that is going on in my head right now. And because I am also in that shoes, or I have done that in a couple of startups, you remind me of so many things, coming right around in my head. Because when there are, freshers straight out of the college who think they want to get into solutions engineering, they don't understand, they don't have that hands-on experience which we have gathered working in engineering as an engineer in different
Mm.
places as different roles. They can do this. I don't say that they can't do this. But again, like you mentioned rightly, in that 15-minute call, your entire, years of hard work comes into picture. It's not just that you come
Yeah.
and you just blabbered. And again, I remember when I made that transition. I don't want to make this my call, but This is just like, one solutions engineer talking to another. It's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
like that
I
right
can feel
now.
you are
Yeah.
connecting.
So it's basically like the सेल्स पीपल, उनको लगता है अरे ये टेक वाला है, और टेक वालों को लगता है अरे ये सेल्स में चला गया तो अभी टेक नहीं रहा. सो देयर कम्स अ पॉइंट वेयर यू हैव टू जस्ट कीप explaining to yourself and to others that I'm still very much technical, just that I'm helping the sales guys getting money for our same company, and it's not something outsider. Like, did you ever
Yeah.
is that kind of a situation, or was it just me?
No, it does happen, but uh, it is put to a point where how much effort and work you put in your work, which actually shows up.
Yeah.
So generally, see, time is important for everybody. Today also, when we started, the first thing you said is my time is important, so you want to take as much less time possible. So everybody thinks that way. Now, in that time, what they want to do is a separate question, but सब टाइम सबका इम्पोर्टेंट है. मेरा टाइम खराब नहीं होना चाहिए, राइट?
ये बात
तो
है.
जब ये बात आ जाती है, टाइम की बात आ जाती है ना, तो आई वांट टू मेक श्योर कि इफ द पर्सन हैज गिवन मी 1 hour ऑफ हिज टाइम, and
Right.
generally most of the people I meet are CXO level, their time is anyways very short.
Oh.
So तो उसमें 1 घंटे में मैं ऐसा क्या बोल दूं कि उनको लग जाए कि हाँ यही है, ये दुनिया है, ये जिंदगी है, ये मिल गया तो मैं मेरे तो नैया पार है,
अरे.
right? So right, so that is the effort I have to put. If I put that level of effort, I don't remember any of my sales guys who said, yeah, I don't want him. They say like, I want him and only him.
Yeah.
So, so
Yeah.
it changes your perception about your presence in the situation, in the meeting. And again, where common rules of communication, eye contact, listening skills, active listening, you know, so this also makes a big difference when
We
you're
just
having
gave a little
conversations.
crash course to all of you listening right now. These are like the biggest things which no one teaches you. It's just supposed कि आपको आना चाहिए. But what he said is absolutely right. And since I have just deep dived into this question from your experience, I have one last follow up to this question, which is, uh, कभी-कभी people also think, now these people can be inside your company, inside your line of business or whatever, or probably
Mhm.
just people who, because I also understand sometimes, especially in India as a geography, many people didn't really know solutions or pre-sales for a while. The time, the tides have changed, but there was also a time when this was so new in India as a market. So the perception of also a solutions engineer or a pre-sales guy was that of a कि ये बस आके डेमो देगा.
Hmm.
Have you
Right.
also encountered, and that's not a bad thing until unless again the same philosophy, आपने उसका टाइम वेस्ट किया वो डेमो देके, या आपने एक्चुअली उसको बताया कि इससे तुम्हारी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व होती है. व्हाट इज योर टेक ऑन द डेमो थिंग?
Yeah, people can have any perception. You cannot control their perception. It is how you take your thing seriously and how you drive it. Even if your job is just to give demo, can that demo be so effective that people are like one simple example I'll give you of simple key. You want to give a demo to someone, right? So you open the screen, you start showing this is where you see the green color, this is where you see the red color. Both the colors, when you mix, it becomes orange color, right? So it's beautiful. You will like it whenever you see it.
Right.
Yeah. So for simple, monotonous script, and you told about this, right? Now, if you put some context to this, that
Right.
whenever you are happy, this dashboard will show green color. And
Right.
whenever you are sad, it will always show you red color. And this does that. It does it when it takes the face reading of yours and it is able to project it on the screen. Now you're connecting, you're talking emotions of the person, right? Same demo, green, red. And when you are in a mixed state, you're working, you're hard, you're stressed out, etc., then it makes the two colors mix and the new color comes up on the screen. So it is all about showing the same thing, talking the same thing, but you're bringing in more life to your conversation.
Right. Right. I just got really carried away. I feel like apologizing because you took me in that ride with you. उस नैया पे मैं भी निकल गई आपके साथ and started answering this and sharing your experience. Do you think you have anything more to add to this question before I move on to my second question that I have for you?
One point you said that if people as fresher are applying for this, this will there they will have to basically spend a good amount of time in understanding what this field is, because this field requires immense amount of knowledge, and then only you actually start delivering it. So
Yeah,
my suggestion would be to, if you want to be in this field, then you should start investing into doing some whatever solution engineering you are for that field. You should study well, and
absolutely.
then you come into this field. Start talking about.
So true, so true. Couldn't agree
Yeah.
more. And while
Yeah.
we are talking about solutions engineering, and
Mm.
I won't stretch this further, but I want to add one thing to this, which is very, very hit in the market since a few years. And I think artificial intelligence or AI कोई
Mm.
नई चीज नहीं है. Given the fact that
Mm.
I'm an engineer, it was
Mm.
always a word that was used, AI and ML, and we have just kept listening to this and sold products and worked at startups which had that flavors. But
Mm.
suddenly जो जितना और हम मार्केट में और इंडस्ट्री में सुन रहे हैं AI, do you think there is or there will be a role of AI in solutions engineering?
हाँ, so if just diverting a bit, अगर क्वेश्चन ये है कि सोल्यूशन इंजीनियरिंग की फील्ड ही खत्म हो जाएगी एआई आने से, तो ऐसा तो कुछ नहीं होने वाला.
नहीं नहीं वो बिल्कुल नहीं है.
But
That's not the question.
correct. Coming to the point of AI has been existing for last 100 years.
Exactly.
Actually, right? So it's only that it never came to this point, or it was never effective to this point where every common person can use it.
Right.
Like my father, he's a retired person. He's 70s. He's learning mobile now,
Correct.
and he learned ChatGPT by himself. So he's able to put those prompts. He's able to get those responses. He's able to use that for giving advices, etc. So that usability thing was
Right.
never there. It was always about of key people who were only able, limited people who were able to use it. Now it is available to almost everybody. That is the change which has happened in the world of AI. And because everybody has the information handy, it helps in solution engineering as well. Simple thing, I'll tell you. Today, if I tell you that you have to study about some topic, right? You can search on Google. But how effective are you on searching in Google? You can only go to certain sites, certain things in a given period of time, and you can come back with some responses. And those responses also, it's your ability to how much you are able to grasp, understand, and then come up with a summary of whatever you have seen.
Right.
So this is what the Google search allowed us, or any kind of search engine allowed us. Now, if I compare this with generative AI specifically, those models have allowed us to search the entire internet.
Correct.
And then come up with the same summary in a very nice fashion, which I can control. I said, only show me in 15 words, only show me in one paragraph, only show me in 100 words. So this way, or I can add more prompts to it that, it has to be specific to this country, this type of industry, etc.
Right.
So I'm controlling those prompts, and I'm getting the response so quickly.
Right.
This really allows me to enhance my knowledge in a very short period of time, and I can be prepared about conversation. I can be prepared about the person I'm meeting. I can be prepared about the industry I'm going to speak about. So this completely transforms in the way I work today.
Right.
So this is one form of solution engineering work. Second thing is, how do I bring in, with this information, can I bring in more automation towards my work? Right.
Right.
Right. So creating presentations, creating Excel, creating some kind of graphs, writing a small piece of code, editing an image, right? So all of these things, which today, if I have to spend 3 hours, 4 hours, or I have to be in that state of mind to be able to create these discussions, I
Right.
can just give it to AI, and it takes away all of those things for me.
Right. So
It's
you're
very, very
basically
transformative.
saying something which makes my life easier, whatever
Yes.
be my profession, you're being
Yeah.
solutions engineering, and it's making
Yeah.
my life easy in getting stuff done.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, though I don't want to get into this debate or something, but I feel Google is also an AI. It's just that we have trained it so much and we just don't look at it like that. Otherwise, मुझे वो भी वही लगता है. Until unless, of course, you know how to search search properly. तो आप अगर
हाँ
सके तो वो भी इतना बुरा नहीं है. सॉरी, मेरा गूगल के लिए बायस है तो नॉट दैट इट्स नॉट अबाउट द कंपनी और समथिंग बट जस्ट द गूगल सर्च, राइट? वी हैव ऑल
yeah.
बीन जीनियस बिकॉज ऑफ इट. सो
Correct, correct. So they have invested a lot in their algorithm to quickly search and present the data in the most readable and easy format to you.
yeah,
So that kudos to them, definitely.
that's all. Absolutely,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
And my last question to you is something which again I'm waiting for you to help me or help users to understand, because there is a fine line between the concept of monitoring versus observability. And
Hmm,
sometimes people look at it like almost the same thing, just the different usage of word to say what it is. But it's actually another, like a feature of a product. If I were to say, if I were a startup selling XYZ, whatever, in general, I'm talking about. So,
hmm,
since you have insights on this subject as well,
hmm, hmm.
can you help us understand observability and analytics and how it goes? And if you care to, even give the Hindi word for it, like you were mentioning, you had found it. It's totally all right if you want to mention it.
Frankly, I don't didn't get
I don't
देखना
remember.
या समझना ऐसा. Like certain words which may not feel or sound good in this podcast, so I don't want to do the words. But yes,
Okay, continue.
observability in Hindi, I think the English better, word is much better. So maybe some other language will be some better.
Okay, yeah.
So, so observability, uh, is about coverage. So, anyways, this whole thing, today's world is all about apps. Those apps may be running inside mobile devices or on your browsers. So businesses are no more running inside big buildings. They are now running inside the apps, whether it is a bank or insurance or retail or whatever you think of. They all have moved and now running on this small devices, handheld devices, right? And it's all about this. So if this app works, fantastic, experience is great, usability is easy, so I would spend my time on this, and it creates a loyalty. It connects my emotions to this,
Correct.
right? But if there is any poor experience and given an option that I can quickly switch, I
Hmm.
would like to switch
Correct.
because I'm not getting the experience or it's not helping me to what level I would like to go on. So creating that stickiness, and that usability has become a field by itself
Hmm.
in the world of apps, right?
Right.
So this now, how do you know whether my experience for that app is good or not? So
Hmm.
this is where things like observability and performance come into play,
Right.
right? So observability by itself, if I go by the technical definition, it is about collecting log data,
Hmm.
metric data, and trace data.
Right.
And then it pulls into one system. You apply some analytics over it. You try to identify which transactions are having problem and what is the reason of it.
Hmm.
And predecessor of observability was monitoring.
Right.
So, right. So monitoring, everybody must have done. And I'll tell you one simple example. If you have a car or if you have any of those things, you see a dashboard in
Hmm.
which you can see that your engine RPM is 3000 RPM, which is a good RPM. 2500 to 3000 RPM is a good RPM for your car to run. Now, if it is going beyond 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, that something is wrong. Either you are driving very fast, or it is that the engine is taking a lot of effort to run the car. So this data tells us monitoring, where you have a threshold, you have a static value, or in terms of information technology, it was about memory and CPU. If the
Okay.
CPU goes 100 for a given server, then system will not run, applications will not run until simply stop.
Something like a boundary value analysis, maybe.
Yeah, that
Maybe.
thresholds,
Oh,
thresholds, right? तो
okay.
वो 100 पे पहुंचा, बात खत्म हो गई, सिस्टम बंद हो गया. अब
हाँ.
आपको क्या करना है? आपको ये करना है कि आपने 80% पे एक थ्रेशोल्ड लगा दिया.
हाँ.
जैसे ही 80 पे पहुंचा, आपने एक्शन ले लिया और अब आपने बचा लिया.
Right.
So this is monitoring,
Okay.
in which problem is known
Hmm.
and most likely the solution is also known. If non-solution, mitigation steps are known.
Right. Right. Correct. Okay. Yeah.
ठीक है.
Hmm.
अब आता है द डार्कर साइड. प्रॉब्लम भी नहीं पता है, और सोल्यूशन तो ऑब्वियसली भी नहीं पता होगा।
प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं पता तो सोल्यूशन कहाँ से लो?
ठीक है ना।
राइट।
अब उसमें क्या होता है कि जब सिचुएशन आती है तो सब हरा दिखता है, सब बढ़िया है, एकदम चल रहा है, सिस्टम चल रहे हैं, नेटवर्क चल रहा है, एप्लीकेशन चल रही है, रिस्पॉन्स आ रहा है, 200 ओके हो रहा है ना।
ओके।
पर
हाँ।
जब यूजर एक्सेस करता है तो चलता नहीं है।
ओ द
या
नाइट कॉल।
अगर आप मेरे मेरे एक्सपीरियंस से जाओगे, जहां मैं लोगों से बात करता हूँ, तो वो कहते हैं हमारे पास एक या दो ब्रांच वाले हैं, वो हमेशा कंप्लेन करते हैं और उनके यहाँ बहुत प्रॉब्लम रहती है, राइट, है ना। तो ऐसा ऐसा रहता है उनके यहाँ, तो ये एक कॉमन कहानी है, लाइक ऐसा। तो
राइट।
दिस दिस सिचुएशन वे यू वांट टू get more deep insights to be able to first know that there is a problem in the system, and second to be able to isolate, and third to be able to take mitigation steps, is where observability has is trying to go deeper. So the first phase is, it is not just about collecting metric data, but you also need some more context. So they added logs, क्योंकि जनरली एक डेवलपर या कोई भी सिस्टम होगा, वो अपनी सारी प्रॉब्लम लॉग में पहले लिख लेता
करेक्ट। हाँ।
है ना। तो
या।
लॉग एक उस मेट्रिक को कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऐड करते हैं कि सीपीयू 100 जा रहा है, एक जावा का प्रोसेस ले रहा है, लेकिन जावा में कौन ले रहा है वो आपने लॉग में लिखा हुआ है ना। मैं
राइट।
डेटाबेस को लेने की कनेक्ट कोशिश कर रहा हूँ, कनेक्ट नहीं हो पा रहा है क्योंकि जो उसके थ्रेड पूल खत्म हो चुके हैं, इसलिए अब मैं सीपीयू को खाने जा रहा हूँ।
करेक्ट। हाँ।
वो वेरी कॉमन विद जावा
राइट।
सिस्टम्स।
राइट।
तो ये जो सिचुएशंस है, अभी लॉग के बाद क्या होगा कि ठीक है, लेकिन वो कौन से ट्रांजैक्शन है जो कि ऐसा कर रहे थे,
गॉट
तो
इट।
इसके लिए आपने ट्रेस लाना शुरू।
या।
तो वो ट्रेस आने से आपको पता चला कि सिर्फ लॉगिन के ही ट्रांजैक्शन में ऐसा हो रहा है, बाकी सब बढ़िया चल रहा
तो थोड़ा बहुत डीबगिंग भी आ जाता है फिर इसमें। देन इट्स नॉट
है।
जस्ट
हाँ,
कलेक्टिंग डेटा बट ऑल्सो एनालिसिस, ऑल्सो डीबगिंग।
डायग्नोसिस आ गया, सब आ गया
कुछ
उसमें।
आ रहा है, हाँ।
तो फिर उसके बियॉन्ड आता है कि अब ये सारे इतनी सारी चीजें एक साथ चल रही है, उसमें हो रही है प्रॉब्लम। नाउ
हम्म।
आई वांट टू बी मोर एंड मोर प्रिडिक्टिव अबाउट दिस सिचुएशन, दैट इज वेयर यू ट्राई एडिंग some analytics or maybe some AI ML etc, ताकि मैं ये प्रॉब्लम होने से पहले इस चीज का पता कर पाऊँ। So this is the broad level. This is a big difference between observability, where you have more context, yeah, compared to monitoring a metric which just says this is not working right now.
Makes sense. I mean, English is a funny language with all due respect, just quoting from a movie. क्योंकि अगर देखा जाए दूर से तो कभी कभी एनालिटिक्स और मॉनिटरिंग भी सेम लगता है, कभी कभी
हाँ,
ऑब्जर्वेबिलिटी और मॉनिटरिंग भी सेम लगता है, कभी कभी कितने लोग
हाँ,
उसको इंटरचेंजेबली यूज कर देते हैं वर्ड, राइट, थिंकिंग कि
हाँ,
सेम ही तो है। पर सेम
हाँ,
नहीं है। सो आई आई हाईली अप्रिशिएट द फैक्ट कि आपने उसको इतना अच्छे से लेमैन टर्म में और एकदम कॉमन एग्जांपल्स देके इसको ब्रेक डाउन किया, बिकॉज this was really nice and this was really useful. I appreciate it. हाँ,
thanks.
सच में बहुत बहुत अच्छे से आपने इसको एक्सप्लेन किया। I mean, I have exhausted my list of questions, but I haven't really, आपको हिंदी का मतलब बोलना है उसका? ऑब्जर्वेबिलिटी
Very
का
good.
हिंदी कुछ
प्रेक्ष
बोला? अच्छा।
प्रेक्षणीयता, प्रेक्षणीयता।
हाँ, नो दैट्स अ वेरी गुड वर्ड। ये बुरा नहीं लगता
प्रेक्षणीयता।
पॉडकास्ट पे। इनफैक्ट ये
हाँ।
बहुत भारी लगता है, बहुत दमदार वजनदार सा लगता है।
So प्रेक्षणीयता is the Hindi word.
Do you think there's anything more which people would like to learn from you, या आपको कुछ याद आ रहा है जो मैंने मिस कर दिया हो? सॉरी टू पुट यू इन द स्पॉट। इतना सब पूछ लिया मैंने।
So actually, yeah, so we actually discussed two aspects. One
राइट।
is solution engineering as a career, and second is the field of observability.
राइट।
And the third, which I can bring together, is that how is observability as a career, and in that solution engineering as a career option. That is what I can talk about in few minutes.
प्लीज प्लीज।
Yeah. So in this uh, observability, see, as I mentioned, it's all about apps nowadays. So this field is going to stay and going to mature. And the next phase of this observability will eventually merge into data analytics, AI analytics, right? And so because this merging is happening, and data analytics by as a market in India is a $30 billion as I was just reading some of the reports here, there's a $30 billion industry by 2030. Okay.
Right.
Just the analytics piece. Uske surrounding things will be separate actually. So if so many things are happening, then making a career into observability would be a great decision if you are somewhere connected to any kind of development, project management, applications, testing, or performance engineering. If you are somewhere anywhere related into this, entering into observability easy for you, or cloud as well. So entering into observability will be easy for you, and entering solution engineering is all about communication. How effective, how easy can you be in communication? So if you have these two knacks, you understand the technology world, and you are amazing when it comes to speak. You are spellbounding. You just connect the person wants to listen to you. Then you should try the field.
He literally gave you all of you who are listening to us right now, he gave all the knacks, all the rule books, and अगर आप उसको try करें और implement करें और थोड़ा सा hard work करें, क्योंकि there's no AI to hard work yet. I hope will not be also.
Nice point.
Yeah. So
the way to hard work.
that's a good one, right? ये पता
Yeah,
नहीं
that's a very good one. Correct. That's a very good one.
Like I said, I'm a Java person. मेरा run time पे बहुत अच्छा निकलता है. So it's just
Maybe that's why you're well suited for podcasts and all similar things.
But seriously, this has been one hell of a conversation, because sometimes solutions engineering, again, like you rightly mentioned in the conversation, it all depends on how we present it and how we project it, right? And it's so good to have people and leaders like you in this industry जो उसको इतने आसानी से बता सके, क्योंकि कितने लोगों को सिर्फ डर लगते रह जाता है इस चीज से कि पता नहीं ये क्या है, इसको कर पाएंगे या नहीं कर पाएंगे, या ओ शायद से तुम ना बड़ी एक्सट्रोवर्ट हो इसलिए तुम कर लेती हो और बाकी सब नहीं कर सकते. बट आई डोंट थिंक सो इट्स गॉट टू डू एनीथिंग विद एक्सट्रोवर्ट और इंट्रोवर्ट. इट्स जस्ट अबाउट योर स्किल्स, योर टैलेंट एंड हार्ड वर्क. खत्म.
Totally agree.
So I'm seriously so happy that this conversation that we started off is going to be a kickoff for this year, and it couldn't have been better. Thank you so much, Nalin, seriously. And like you were mentioning about all the $1 billion in the report, एक startup start करनी चाहिए ना. I'm thinking ना चाहिए, just that there would be too much of competition around this in this business. इतना पैसा है तो सब लोग लगे ही हुए हैं वैसे भी, but
it is already there. I was just at KubeCon recently, and there were 7 observability vendors, half of them for India itself. So it's already a market which is getting full very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ये भी प्लान कैंसिल करना पड़ेगा, तो क्या करूं मैं? ये
maybe we can have another podcast on the same topic. What should Shruti do next?
नहीं, इतने इतने जब आपने पैसे बोले, आई डेफिनेटली न्यू कि इसके कम से कम 10-20 तो स्टार्टअप्स होंगे ग्लोबली, नॉट जस्ट इंडिया. बट इतने इतने सब ऑलरेडी आ चुके हैं, मतलब हम बहुत पीछे हैं. कुछ सोचना पड़ेगा और क्या नई चीज लाई जाए. मे बी वी कैन डू एक्चुअली नेक्स्ट पॉडकास्ट.
If I say what is the new thing which is happening, the latest in observability is AI observability. People are building AI platforms.
Right.
Okay.
That was so
and
obvious.
when they are building these,
yeah, I was thinking to myself that was so obvious, right in your face, and you didn't get it.
So people are building all these AI platforms,
Right.
and how effective are these AI platforms by themselves is where AI observability works. So it gives insights of AI platform. So that's AI observability is just another thing. And so basically observability is now branching out into different areas and ultimately it's all branched out from data analytics. So you have one place where you have all the data. Now you're analyzing the data. So observability comes out, and now AI observability comes out.
तो है मतलब स्टार्टअप के आइडियाज हैं सर के पास, बात करनी पड़ेगी.
पैसा नहीं है.
Just kidding, but this is so good.
भगवान का दिया सब है.
I actually want people to, put in the comments कि एक second podcast होना चाहिए नलिन के साथ कि नहीं, and we will figure out the topic, or you just let us know, because this conversation is so amazing and so funny and so informative at the same time. It's like बड़ी बड़ी चीजें ऐसे छोटे छोटे तरीके से बता देना. It just
Okay.
tells, the height of experience and expertise one has in his field. So I am really, thank you so much. I'm truly honored to have you on the show.
Thank you very much, Sati. Thank you very much.
I hope to
It was
keep.
a pleasure as
I
well.
wish you a very, very great year ahead.
Same to you. Many more successful podcasts you do, many more people you meet, starting from me, but yes, you will be a very successful person.
Thank you.